Hi, my name is Spencer Levi Amansek. I'm a social worker, teacher, YouTuber, and Twitch affiliate. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another episode of English Conversation Newsletters. This newsletter is a collection of questions answered from my students during my week teaching English. If you want to stay up to date with my newsletters and my lessons, please consider subscribing. This newsletter will cover 3 parts. 1. Vocabulary. 2. Pronunciations. And 3. Expressions, idioms, slangs, and phrasal verbs. Let's get started. Today's vocabulary. Whisk. Whisk has 2 meanings. 1, it's a noun. The noun is like a tool, a utensil, something that you get to use to whisk or whip eggs or cream. Which brings me to the verb to whisk. Next word, crockpot. Crockpot is a American word typically used as describing a pot. You plug it into the wall and you can cook a soup or some food really slowly over a few hours. Very perfect for single young males. Put food there in the morning and over the day you go to work, you come back and your food's ready. Life is good. Next word, broth. Broth is a noun. This noun is for soups, typically meat or vegetables. Nothing in it except for the properties or what's left of original material, either beef or maybe chicken, pork. It could probably be just vegetables, but the leftover soup, we call that broth. Next word, tub. Tub has 2 different meanings. The first meaning, it's a wide and sometimes open or deep round container. We typically use this for holding like liquids, holding, foods, or holding items. The other way to use tub is a bathtub. It's very, very popular in the US. Next word, raw. Raw is an adjective, meaning the food is not cooked. Next we have the word ground. Now ground has 2 primary meanings, but this ground is the past tense of to grind. So I'm not talking about ground like the floor, I'm talking about grind as in grinding something down. So when we're using this word grind, the past tense of grind is ground, past tense verb. So you would take pork, you ground pork, or you take beef and you ground beef and you turn it into hamburger patties. You get to grill ground beef patties as hamburgers. Next we have tube. Tube is a long, hollow, either container, whether metal or plastic. Sometimes we use it to hold something. Usually I use this word for a tube of toothpaste. Next word, diced. An adjective for food that you cut into really small pieces. Tuck, 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 tuck. Next word, outpriced. Outpriced is a transitive verb. It has 3 primary meanings. First one, it's to manage your product, your services, or the price of these services, whether higher or lower than your competitor. The second one is to have a higher price, so it's just 50% of the first idea. Third one is to raise your price past your competitors. Next word, cottage. Cottage is a noun. This noun means like a small house, typically in the countryside. Next word, two-ply. Two-ply is an adjective and a noun. For the adjective, it's typically 2 layers or 2 strands. So you can think of it as a tissue. This is 1-ply tissue, and then you can have 2 of them is 2-ply tissues. Typically, this would be a 2-ply tissue. The noun works the same way, but you can call it 2-ply as an item. Our next section here are pronunciations. We have ourselves 6 words. First one, toothache. I gotta play the sound, right? Okay, the first word we have is toothache.
Toothache.
Toothache is a noun, and the noun is to refer to the pain or your tooth hurting. Tooth or teeth, either one. Next word we have is stomachache.
Stomachache.
Stomachache. Sometimes the match and the ache kind of gets a little confusing. Pronounce the word very slowly. Stomachache. Ache. Achi. Stomach. That's not how you say it. Stomach ache. One more time.
Stomachache.
The next word we have is applicant.
Applicant.
Applicant is a noun. It's a person who makes a formal decision to apply for a business or a company or a job. The double P can throw off a lot of students, and the C has the k sound, not the k sound. The applicant. Or applicant. Next word we have is huge.
Huge.
Huge. Huge has two meanings here. One, it's an adjective. The adjective is to describe something that's extremely large. Or number two is an informal way of describing how popular something is. Like, oh man, that's very, like, you are a huge celebrity. Next word, filling.
Filling.
Filling. Filling is a noun. It has two different meanings. The first meaning, think of it as a soft material that you get that's used to fill something, to put something into something. Or the second meaning is something that you can eat. Typically in foods, like a donut, you would have a jelly filling. The last part, we can use it as an adjective. You eat a lot of food and that was a very filling meal. This can become very confusing with the double L in the middle of the word. You'll probably get many students confused with the word filing, which is not the same thing. Filing means putting something in a file. That's not the same thing. Even though you're filling the file with something, you're filling the file, which is filing. It's really, English is so weird, guys. So this next section is going to be the expressions, idioms, slangs, and sometimes some phrasal verbs. Here we go. First one. What are you into? What are you into describes interests and activities. For example, what are you into? What do you like? What are you interested in? That's just another way of saying, what are you into? Next, we have the word believe. Now, believe has two different ideas. You have the first one, which is the verb believe. You think something will happen. I believe it will rain. I believe it will snow. The next one is I believe in. This one is about trust. You have trust that something will happen. Next, we have used to it. Used to it will have three different ideas here. The first one will be present simple, followed by the present perfect, and last, the past simple. So the first one, I get used to it. Familiar. You want to become very regular at doing something now. Next, I've gotten used to it, which is present perfect, meaning something had happened in the past and continues to happen until now. So let's say I didn't like drinking tea, but I kept drinking tea to now, and I've gotten used to drinking tea. Last, I got used to it, which is a past simple. Got used to it means to be used to something in the past, meaning you were familiar or you were okay with doing something that happened a long time ago, and you're okay with it, and it's happened and it's done. I got used to sleeping with a nightlight. I got used to making YouTube videos every day. Something that happened in the past, typically a habit, and continued to happen in the past. Next, we have the word stand. Now, stand can come to you in 5 different ways. The first one is the verb to stand, standing, stood, followed by stand for, stand up for, stand, can't stand, and stand being or stand to be. So stand for. Stand for means to represent something, like I stand for equal rights. Followed by I stand up for is you defend this idea, something that I'm standing up for people who can't speak English. Next, we have can't stand. Can't stand is something you do not want. I do not want that. I don't like it. I can't stand strawberries, for example. I don't like strawberries. I can't stand them. Next, I can't stand to be. I can't stand being is another way of being frustrated or annoyed. Oh, I can't stand being in line. I can't stand waiting for the COVID to go away. Next one, create a buzz. It's to create excitement about an idea with a certain people to all think the same way. So you want to create a buzz with your company. If you want to get popular, you create a buzz about your company's services. You get them talking about, how good your service is, how good your product is. You create a buzz, and sometimes this can get into social media and gets very popular. Thank you for another video. newsletter episode here on my channel. Most of the questions in my newsletters may repeat. If you want a question answered in my newsletter, go ahead and leave a comment down below. As always, if you want to keep up to date with my newsletters and English lessons, please consider subscribing. If you want to read this newsletter, go ahead and sign up in the link down below. Until next time, my name is Spencer Levi Amonsak. I'm a social worker, teacher, YouTuber, and Twitch affiliate. Nice to see you guys again, and I'll see you next time. Peace!